What's going on, guys? Sharpshaw here. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. So for today's video, we're going to be looking at the best free survivor perk builds for every playstyle in Dead by Daylight. So just quickly before I start the loadouts, the playstyles I'm going to be looking at are first the objective, which is more of a laid back playstyle. You focus more on gens and doing objectives and stuff like that. The second one is going to be the altruistic playstyle, where you go for a ton of unhooks and you go for a ton of heals and you just try and help everybody out. The third playstyle I would be looking at is the Bloodpoint oriented playstyle, where you're just trying to grind blood points and get as many blood points per trial as possible. And then the last playstyle I would be looking at is the well-rounded survivor that goes and does a little bit of everything. They do gens, they do objectives, they unhook, and they do heals, and they do everything. And for each loadout, I'm going to be putting the perks ranked on the importance to that playstyle. So for example, the first perk I'm going to put is going to be by far the most important to that playstyle, and then the fourth one could be a perk that you swap in for another one if you don't like that perk that much. And after I've put all four perks in, I'm going to talk about why I put each perk in its place and how they kind of go with each other and make it the best possible build for that playstyle. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first playstyle we're going to be looking at is the objective / gen oriented playstyle. So the most important perk for this playstyle is definitely Prove Thyself, which is Dwight's teachable. As you can see here, Prove Thyself gives you a 15% repair speed bonus when you're doing gens with other people at tier 3. And just to put the cherry on top, you also get 100% more blood points for all co-op actions. So not only do you get gens done way faster, you also get a ton of blood points for doing so. The second perk that's going to be going on the objective playstyle is Meg's teachable Sprint Burst. As you can see here, when you start running, you get a sprint of 150% of your normal running speed for 3 seconds at tier 3. Every playstyle needs an exhaustion perk, and Sprint Burst is the best exhaustion perk for this playstyle, because if you're taking a more laid back approach, you'll get the most use out of Sprint Burst, because this is one of the only exhaustion perks that's really useful outside of a chase, because you can just sprint from gen to gen way quicker if you have Sprint Burst, and you don't have to worry about walking around all the time with this perk, because you're not going to be interacting with the killer too much. Just in case, if you are doing a gen and the killer does come at you, you'll be ready with Sprint Burst so you can get a quick escape. The third perk that's going to be going on the objective category is Resilience. Resilience is a perk that everybody has unlocked, and as you can see at tier 3, you get an additional 9% speed when you're doing all sorts of objectives like repairing, opening exit gates, unhooking, healing. But the catch is you have to be injured. So if you get injured really early on in the trial and manage to escape, or you get unhooked and you just get away from the killer, you can stay injured and you get to do everything in the trial basically 9% quicker, which is super good when you're an objective based player. The last perk for the objective playstyle is Dwight's leader perk. This is a really useful perk because it doesn't affect you, but it affects your teammates, and they get to do at tier 3 their objectives 25% faster when you're 8 meters away from them. So say someone is opening an exit gate and you're just standing right next to them, they get to do that 25% faster. If you leave them, it persists for 15 seconds. So if you see someone doing a hex totem, for example, you could just quickly walk up to them and then walk away, and they get to cleanse the hex totem way quicker. Overall, these 4 perks are a really good combo for objectives, because if you're injured, you get to do things so much faster. Doing a co-op gen with someone while you're injured, you get 9% repair speed bonus on top of the 15% repair speed bonus you would get for doing co-op. So you can zoom through gens if you have this perk on. This build is still good enough to escape the killer with Sprint Burst, and if you're smart with your looping, that's all you need. And then leader helps you be a super good teammate, and you help people do everything else faster. So overall, if you have this loadout on your team, you'll be doing objectives way quicker, you'll be getting more blood points for doing everything, and you're just going to be a really efficient survivor with this build. The next playstyle we're going to be looking at is the Altruistic playstyle. So those are for the people that love getting unhooks and doing heals. The first and by far the most important perk for this build is 100% borrowed time, which is Bill's teachable. If you're not running this perk and you're altruistic, you're doing something wrong, because this perk literally is the go-to for unhooking people. If they get hit while 15 seconds of getting unhooked, they basically get an extra life. So obviously this is a must-have for being altruistic, because you're going to be unhooking a ton of people. The second perk for the altruistic playstyle is Dead Hard, which is David King's teachable. As I said before, you need an exhaustion perk for every build you're going to be doing for any playstyle. You're going to be seeing the killer a lot if you're being altruistic and unhooking people. So Dead Hard, I think, is the best exhaustion perk for going up against the killer. Dead Hard is an activatable exhaustion perk that you can use when you're injured. Pretty much when you're about to take a hit from the killer, you can activate Dead Hard and you'll dash really quickly forward to dodge the hit. This is a really powerful exhaustion perk against the killer, because if the killer goes for you after an unhook and you're fully healed, not only is he going to have to injure you, if you use Dead Hard right, he's going to try and hit you again, and then you'll dash forward, he'll miss, and then if you used it in a really good situation where you drop a pallet on him, or he's been wasting too much time trying to get you down, he either is going to quit or he's going to waste even more time trying to get you. The third perk for the altruistic playstyle is We'll Make It. This is a perk that everybody has, and this is a really good perk because you're going to be unhooking a ton of people, and at tier 3 you get a 100% speed bonus for doing heals for 90 seconds. So if you unhook someone and heal them right on the spot, you'll zoom through it and get going with everything else really quickly. Finally, the last perk is Botany Knowledge, which is Claudette's teachable. This perk is really good because at tier 3 it just gives you a healing speed bonus of 33%. And if you're using a med kit, it gives you a healing item efficiency of 33%. So these 4 perks all go together super well, because borrowed time and Dead Hard especially go together well, because if you unhook someone, if you have borrowed time and the killer is smart, the killer will go for you first, which means that you'll be going into a chase, and Dead Hard is the perfect perk to have. We'll Make It and Botany Knowledge go together super well, because if you unhook someone, you basically get a 133% healing speed bonus for 90 seconds, which is absolutely insane. And even if the killer is somewhat close to you, you can still unhook and right away immediately heal them. And if the killer even comes back for you, by the time he's back, you'll already be healed and on your way. So the third playstyle we're going to be looking at is the Bloodpoint playstyle, where you're just trying to grind for blood points. The first perk that's going to be going on this playstyle is Dwight's Prove Thyself. This perk is super good because you get 100% bonus blood points for the co-op category, and throughout the trial you're going to be doing gens with other people, so that's already a huge automatic blood point boost to your game. The second perk that's going to be going on this blood point build is the We're Gonna Live Forever perk, which is David King's teachable. This perk is really good because you get up to 100% bonus blood points on all of the categories at the end of the trial. You do this by getting 4 tokens to get 100% at tier 3, and you get a token by performing a safe hook or taking a hit to protect a survivor and a couple other things. The third perk that's going to be going on the Bloodpoint playstyle is No One Left Behind. This is a perk that everybody has unlocked, and basically you get 100% additional blood points for healing and unhooking people after the exit gates have been open. This is kind of specific, but if you do go back for players, which you should when the exit gates are opened, this will just give you free blood points for being a good teammate. So I know I said that you should have an exhaustion perk on every build you do, but you can either put on an exhaustion perk like Sprint Burst, or in my opinion you should put on Borrowed Time. I think you should put Borrowed Time on this because it's a super good perk to have when you unhook someone. They get an extra life if they get hit. Quickly to transition over to why these 4 perks are so good for the blood point. Obviously the first 3 perks all give you blood points for doing specific things, and since 2 out of the 3 of these perks in We're Gonna Live Forever and No One Left Behind reward you for doing altruistic things like unhooking survivors, this is why I think that Borrowed Time is actually better than having an exhaustion perk, because you're going to be unhooking a lot of people with this build. So if you're going to be unhooking a ton of people and they just get downed right after, it kind of ruins the point of having We're Gonna Live Forever, because you have to perform a safe hook rescue to get a token. You can't just unhook someone and then immediately if they get down you get a token. That's not how this works. Yes, you will get bonus blood points for unhooking someone for No One Left Behind, but you'll also get an additional Bloodpoint bonus if they get a safe hook rescue. So I think having Borrowed Time makes this a super good 4-perk build. So finally, the last playstyle we're going to be looking at is the well-rounded kind of overall playstyle, which is a survivor that does everything in a trial. So the most important perk for this build is definitely an exhaustion perk, and my favorite is Dead Hard. I think you should either go with Dead Hard or Sprint Burst for this playstyle because the other exhaustion perks aren't as good as them. The second must-have for this build is Borrowed Time for obvious reasons. When you're unhooking someone, they get an extra life. The third must-have for this build is Prove Thyself because it allows you to do gens so much faster in a trial. It's actually insane. So this fourth perk is kind of up to you guys, but in my opinion, I think you guys should put on Empathy, which is Claudette's perk. Empathy allows you to see injured survivors up to 128 meters away on tier 3, which is insane. This perk is really good at the beginning of the trial because you get so much information, because when a survivor first gets injured, you'll know exactly where the killer is, and then you can just follow the little yellow player around so you'll know exactly where the killer is for that amount of time. These 4 perks go really well together because they kind of help you in all 4 of the categories in DBD. First, Dead Hard really helps you in chases, and it helps you in the boldness category when you're interacting with the killer because you'll be able to get away from chases. Borrowed Time helps you in altruism because it'll help you get safe hooks. Prove Thyself helps you in the objective category and doing gens really quickly. And finally, Empathy will help you stay alive and help you in the survival category with all the information that you have. Overall, these 4 perks make you the best well-rounded survivor possible. So yeah guys, those are the 4 categories, and that'll be it for today's video. As usual, let me know in the comments what you thought about each category, what you would change, what you liked about it, and also let me know what other perk builds you would like to see on the channel. I definitely love to do more of these. This was a pretty fun video to make. So yeah guys, that's gonna be the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new. This has been Sharpshot, and I will see you guys in the next video.